Welcome back to the RetroTech Plus channel, and in this video we're going to see the exciting camera comparison between two iconic iPhones, the iPhone 3GS and the iPhone 13 Pro. Now that's almost 10 generations later, so we're going to take a journey through time and technology to see just how far Apple has come in terms of camera capabilities. Let's dive right in. To kick things off, let's talk about the iPhone 3GS. This iPhone, released back in 2009, was a game changer at the time. It featured a 3.2 megapixel camera with no front-facing camera. The camera on the iPhone 3GS had fixed focus and was quite basic compared to today's standards. It couldn't shoot in low light conditions though, it lacked any form of optical image stabilization, and had no advanced photography features at all. But if we fast forward to the present and take a look at the camera on the iPhone 13 Pro, the iPhone 13 Pro, released in 2021, boasts a remarkable camera system. The iPhone 13 Pro features a triple camera system with a 12 megapixel primary wide-angle lens, a 12 pixel ultra-wide lens, and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens. It also has a LiDAR scanner for improved depth sensing. The camera on the iPhone 13 Pro can easily handle almost any lighting condition effortlessly. Thanks to advanced computational photography, it captures the stunning details even in challenging situations. But how will it compare against the generation 10 years ago, the iPhone 3GS? Let's see how Apple really advanced within these generations in the different iPhones. Let's get right into it. I took a couple pictures to see the comparison between these two phones, so let's begin with the daytime photos. Let's start with the iPhone 3GS here on the left side. Right off the bat, it is visible that it has a bunch of noise attached to the image, and everything is really bright. It doesn't accurately reflect the colors and brightness of the sunset within the sky when we compare it to the iPhone 13 Pro. The low 3 megapixel camera on the 3GS and small sensor size lacks the ability to get accurate colors or details of the sunset or any of the other objects within the image. On the contrary, the iPhone 13 Pro did a phenomenal job in rendering the slight differences of colors in the sky. You can take a look that it has a bit of blue at the very top left and capturing the magnificent yellow as it gets a bit lower to the sun. Not to mention the details within the image are accurate and what I would almost say flawless. Within this image, the iPhone 13 Pro offers superior image quality as expected, but it's just cool to look at. It's got better dynamic range and color accuracy compared to the iPhone 3GS. Now, let's move on to another outdoor photo and take an example of using the facial structure of this flower pot. There isn't really a comparison towards how the iPhone 3GS presents the skin tone against the iPhone 13 Pro. However, the iPhone 3GS does not well construct anything really that well within this photo, as it is pretty noisy, and with the rest of the photos as well, it's something that we'll see. But it kind of gives an aesthetic 90s vibe, which is pretty cool to see. Whereas, on the other hand, the iPhone 13 Pro does the detail and colors just perfectly. Well, maybe not perfectly, but they are accurate, however. If you take a look at the face, or I guess the skin tone, if you will, it isn't really, it looks artificial. It's very flattened out and very smooth, and I feel like it doesn't really accurately present what the actual color is. However, at the bottom of this flower pot, you can actually see flowers on the iPhone 13 Pro. If you take a look at that photo over here, you can see that there are flowers on the flower pot, whereas on the iPhone 3GS, you don't really notice that until I point it out, because the overall image appears to be darker. Moving on to the next one, this one's very visible as to which one obviously takes the win, and just in general the capabilities of the iPhone 13 Pro and the limited abilities of the iPhone 3GS. It is so noisy you can barely read what's under the begins area. You cannot read that if it weren't for the iPhone 13 Pro being there to the side. Even the 40, the maximum for that, is very difficult to read, and anything just in general around that area is very poorly captured. Whereas the iPhone 13 Pro, it makes everything, honestly, this is, by the way, I forgot to mention earlier, it's approximately 5 times the zoom for the iPhone 3GS. There's no really indicator showing how much zoom you're using, it's just you slide across how much you would like to zoom in. But in the iPhone 13 Pro, it is using 5 times zoom, and it was honestly very I don't know how to put it, very soft, the image, the way it shows. It doesn't really show the details that precisely. However, obviously everything is still legible with the writing, which is why I wanted to test using these pictures. In this image, we get closer towards the nighttime. We're here with low light imagery, where on the iPhone 3GS, it isn't as accurate as we've seen once again through all its other photos as well. However, I kind of like this aesthetic as well. I mean, it looks pretty retro, let's say. It's pretty cool. But the iPhone 13 Pro just amazes once again. Everything's clear. The colors, you can't really tell the tree color and all that things, but it is a low light image, so you're not going to be getting everything perfectly. However, the sky, all that, it accurately reflects the colors. So there's nothing really here to say. The iPhone 13 Pro did once again a good job. iPhone 3GS provides that 90s aesthetic look, so I'll give it that. But otherwise, it's an iPhone 3GS 2009. I mean, it's not bad. And the final image, this one was taken at nighttime. This one's a bit odd because if you take a look at the iPhone 3GS, it was taken at 8:24 p.m. and the iPhone 13 Pro, the image was taken at 8:22 p.m. So there's only a 2-minute difference, but it makes it look like it's a complete 2-hour difference. The lighting within the iPhone 13 Pro actually made it much lighter than it seriously was. I may throw in a photo a bit later. I took it on my Google Pixel, and this one was much better compared to both images. It was around in between in terms of the coloring of the sky and the night sky, but who knows? Let me know what you think about it. iPhone 3GS was way too dark. iPhone 13 Pro way too light. It was not that bright outside at 8:22 p.m. So both images, they were off in terms of their color. However, the iPhone 3GS, you couldn't see much of the tree lines and the leaves, but the iPhone 13 Pro, obviously you could. Now, the iPhone 13 Pro was using its 3x zoom and approximated. The iPhone 3GS was also using, we can say around 3 as well, as they do have the same frames, but they have different megapixel camera systems, so it's hard to tell. As a whole, the iPhone 3GS is pretty good, if you ask me. 2009, I wouldn't say it's too bad. 10 generations later though, you can see the huge advancements that Apple has taken to get their camera quality to the next level. The iPhone 13 Pro is no slacker in the terms of camera. It had really good accuracies with the colors, and overall the details were just on point. And obviously after the photos taken, you can see that in the newer phones there will be customizations using iOS, so that also makes a huge difference. Then when we compare it to one of the later models, especially the iPhone 3GS, where there wasn't any after changes when the image was taken, there was no software to clean it up or remove some stuff, add some coloring here and there, and whatnot. But it's pretty cool overall. The iPhone 3GS had an interesting aesthetic, if you'd ask me. I know there was a slight trend with individuals taking the iPhone 3GS back to get that aesthetic look. Even if we take a recap on some of the photos we took, like this one. This one was pretty cool, had a decent aesthetic. Or maybe this one. It was a pretty new photo actually. This was a new photo. It was actually pretty cool honestly. And I feel like you could film a really cool movie from the 90s if you wanted to. But let me know in the comments if that's something you would like to see. Maybe it's a YouTube Shorts, anything. I could just show you guys some of the photos I've taken with that and produce something. So, yep, I'll go ahead, hit that like button, drop in the comments if you'd like to see that. Well, for this video, that's about it honestly. The iPhone 3GS, pretty cool to take a look at. If you want to see any other videos maybe that I should do with iPhone 3GS, definitely let me know in the comments down below. If not, you might be seeing another series with the old BlackBerry device, maybe some PlayStation. Nah, I'm not going to give you too much information. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a ton for watching.